Welcome, everyone. I'm David Bowders with Trade Hounds, and I'm here today with Mike Yelton. Mike is the president of Eaton Electrical Americas. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So here we are at NEMA 25. Tell us what drew you here, what you're hoping to learn about, and what are some of the interesting things you're learning?
Yeah. First of all, this annual meeting is always a great gathering of kind of thought leaders and manufacturing experts. What draws me in, typically a good agenda, good speakers, kind of breadth of speakers, whether it be utilities, politicians, and then manufacturers kind of representing the topics that are top of mind or that are impacting the industry.
So talking about some of the challenges that manufacturers are facing, what are you thinking?
Right. Things that come to mind for me right off the bat would be skilled labor availability is a topic first of mind. The political instability, tariff instability. It's not really the tariffs; it's the predictability of the tariffs today would be a key issue. And then again, there's a lot of growth, so the infrastructure we can help with the infrastructure to get there, but in some cases where the infrastructure is not there for us to be able to expand as readily as we would like to meet the growing customer needs.
So let's talk a little bit about this whole workforce issue. It's estimated over the next 5 to 10 years, about half of the electrical workforce will retire and be replaced. That's not just a big challenge in and of itself, but there's also very different buyer expectations. We have digital natives, Gen Zers, who are coming into the workforce who have very different ways of gathering information, different ways of engaging socially. Talk about the importance of connecting to this next generation.
I mean, it's critical, and it's not just critical tomorrow. It's already critical today to make sure that you can recruit and then retain the best in the industry. So where you spend your time, how you market yourself, the training tools that you've got to make available to your teams, and then really the stickiness as an employer. It's different. It's not really just a place to work. They're wanting a place that has an impact on the environment that's socially responsible. They're looking for an employer that I would say development needs, and how we're developing an employee is much earlier in their career. It's a priority.
Yeah, at Trade Hounds we have over 400,000 field skilled tradespeople, and most of them are Gen Zers. And one of the things they talk about is just how the way they discover product, the way they build and engage with brands has changed so much.
That varies wildly. That's the employee. That's the customer. It's the individual, the distributor, the person that's specifying the product, a potential end user. How they recruit it. Before it was, can you send a salesman over? Again, where can I research this? Do you have a catalog? I mean, those were questions that we fielded not that many years ago, and then now. There's some statistics say 30% of the research is done online before they ever even click to have access to someone, or before they consider entertaining a discussion with a potential solution provider like Eaton.
So. Yeah, one of the things that's really interesting for us, we recently ran a survey on the use by electricians of AI. Right. And now about 70% of our users are saying that they search for information not through traditional web search, Google. Right. Now they're actually starting in agentic tools. Right. Talk a little bit about how that's disrupting things for manufacturers.
Well, again, if you spoke to how it's disruptive, you'd also have to speak about the benefits of it. I mean, clearly it's a different approach to learning. But again, you can date yourself now by saying, oh, I did a Google search or I did a Bing search for this, because again, that's actually not what others are doing today. And so I would say from a disruptive standpoint, it's a quicker gathering of information. You've got to control your sources in these. So again, you're getting good at the prompts and asking the questions. That wouldn't be the disruptive part. That's how you leverage it. But also we're introducing AI, agentic AI in designing products and stuff now, searching the database, searching the work that you've actually done before for the industry, and being able to use that as a starting point is making our engineers more productive, and there's still several more gains that we can make in that space.
Yeah, Trade Hounds, one of the big requests we've had from our users is building the ability for them to generate bills of materials and query their distributor inventories directly from our app. And so we're going to natural language. You can take pictures, for example, of product, and then find out who's got that product right now in their geography, be able to request a quote, be able to place a PO, just by speech, and that's really a big change in the way that
It is, but really the Chat GPT, the information is available, and the interconnectivity of that information now with AI is just enabling all of that. It's really not that complex of a process, but again, we have applications where you can snap a picture and build a bill of material. You can scan drawings now, and it creates a start of the proposal for our sales engineers to work with, and we'll continue to broaden those tools, improve them, and make them available to more customers where they can scan job sites, job packets, and bring in import job packets, and then get starter bill of materials, something that they can use to value engineer from.
That's so interesting. How do you think your company will change in its approach to connecting to this next generation based on the agentic?
Yeah, again, there's been changes. There will continue to be changes. I would say making information more readily available, increasing transparency, not just before the process for quotes or for things like that, but even during the process. I mean, customers are looking for opportunities to look into our factories, not to call a support center or even to query something. It's just that they want to be able to kind of look in. Has my job started? Where is it in the process? Are the engineering drawings complete? Has all the material been received? I mean, those are information that they've been hidden in manufacturing systems in our sites in the past, and we've used usually alternate systems to harvest that data and make it available. And then now we're moving to and migrating to portals and views into that information for our customers.
A lot of the electrical manufacturers that we deal with have had challenges, let's say, around their SPA and rebate programs where just salespeople are setting these things up all the time. They've got, duplicate programs. It's sort of creating some commercial noise in the channel when you start getting into agentic search. Do you think there'll have to be some changes in the business as to how these programs are created and managed?
There could be some changes in the programs. Those programs typically evolve. What I would say is, we're using AI in those programs today, whether we're using it to evaluate whether the rebates look appropriate or to identify trends or to tie things to specific SKU level usage, where in the past that would have been kind of more data than you could go through. And so we use it more as I'd call it a pre-audit or a check of the information. Mm-hmm. But I think the more we use that data, the more we actually learn with AI and build on it. I think those processes will become much more seamless and likely much faster for us and our customers to process.
And how well do you think distributors are prepared today for a lot of the demographic and technological shifts?
It varies wildly across the spectrum. I mean, there's some that are being quite progressive and working. There's a lot more early adopters that are just show me a couple places where this can bring value, and then I'll build from there. And there's always a few that are resisting.
Yeah, never coming, never doing it.
That's right, exactly. I'll let the generation after me handle that or something, or the owner after me do that.
So I know there's a lot of innovation as well in this industry. I mean, the flow of new products and new applications is almost endless, and I think we'd all agree that the pace of change is even accelerating. How do you help to socialize and build awareness for new products, innovation at Eaton with your end customers?
Yeah, we got multiple forums. I mean, our participation in NEMA with the standards and others is oftentimes an early place where we're either working specifications, working standards to drive that, but new product introduction, new product development is a big part of what we do and a large part of our growth. So we've got we spend we use multiple forums to get our products out there. I mean, some from basic marketing and Marcom type activities, but others is really much more targeted with either industry groups. Again, a lot of growth in data center now. We've got not just organic development or NPI, but we're also got acquisitions, and we leverage those and use those. But we also gather a lot of VOC or voice of customer around our products, and then clearly we're doing that segment specific or industry specific, and then bringing it back and broadcasting it out. So.
Interesting. And what role do you think with this new generation of customers, what role do you think social will play in terms of how you buid awareness and preference?
Social is already becoming a bigger part. I think it will just continue to expand. That's not just, I think now people are, started with social of, who do I contact, where do I go? Then you move to Can I learn a little bit more about the product? And then now social can be, where's my spec writer guide? Or if this is what's important to me, where can I provide input to formalize my spec and move things? Or even compare us and competitors on certain products or capabilities. I mean, I think social will be there. And I'm saying more AI and the web, but when you say social, it's really kind of sharing kind of your successes. But again, people use in social, you've got industry specific segments, and I think we'll just see more and more, I'll say, kind of specialty groups coming where they're sharing and forums that are there for this is what really worked well for me, or see Eaton for this type thing.
So Mike, let's just talk a little bit about the challenges. Obviously, it's a wonderful time to be in the electrical industry. The macro picture is excellent. We're broadly just upgrading and investing and expanding. Obviously, the whole tailwind behind AI and data centers couldn't be better in terms of the macro picture. What are some of the specific challenges in terms of profiting from that macro?
You've already included it in your question, but again, I really want to say that it is a great time to be in the electrical industry. I love to say it's a great time to be in the electrical industry, even better time to be part of Eaton, but the industry is not without challenges or issues today. I mean, there's some rising costs, there's some tight labor shortages.
You talked a little bit earlier about just having a resilient supplier network that can keep up with your growth.
Yeah, supplier resilience, having suppliers that can scale with you today. I mean, with the growth that we're seeing in this industry, it compounds year over year, and it's great. I mean, that's why we're making the investment. Eaton's investing over $1 billion in our capacity today. But again, if our suppliers don't invest, if we don't have the right communications and partnerships with those suppliers, we won't be able to kind of meet the commitments that we're making to the industry.
Or even if they're in the wrong place in the world.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, today, that's a greght point. If they're in the wrong place in the world today,
at the wrong day.
Tariffs. Oh yes, that's an excellent point. With the tariff, I'd say tariffs are a challenge, but tariffs instability is definitely an item for us to choose. But again, we build in region for the region, so we're really primarily in the Americas. At the same time, there are some components that's kind of globally are only available in a few places, and we've been working and developing suppliers out again domestically even more than we did before, just to ensure that we shore up that supply chain and shore up our ability to consistently meet our customers' needs.
Avoid those gotchas.
Yeah, exactly. Avoid the gotchas.
So as you think about some of the particular strengths that Eaton brings to this, how would you describe them?
Yeah, Eaton's strength. I mean, our scale, our ability to drive innovation and consistently drive innovation and breakthrough, and then really kind of leveraging the breadth of our portfolio is one of the things that kind of quickly come to mind for me there. We've got a great business that has and will continue to invest to lead in the industry, and again, as I mentioned earlier, I mean, over $1 billion of investment in capacity, and that's really organic capacity in our footprint. Beyond that, we've done some fairly significant acquisitions. Those acquisitions are pointed in some cases at technology, where the industry's going, where we think we're going to lead the industry, or the industry is going to lead us, and then other cases it's really to provide a broader solution to the customer, something help them address the labor shortage, help them address the fact that the data centers today are moving to locations that are not as well populated or staffed, based on the fact that they're moving for power, not necessarily for to be close to an NFL city. Yeah. And so if they're moving where the resources are available, then we've got to help them, provide them a solution that can bring that site up more quickly, without as much labor content on the site. And we're trying to support the trades and support the groups to make them more efficient, more effective at the site.
You talked a little bit about how Eaton is supporting the young tradespeople getting into the field today.
Yeah. Again, first of all, one thing I want to plug for Eaton, if you have an opportunity to get to one of our, we call them PSEC, but Power System Experience Centers, but we do a lot of training, and we do that with as young as STEM students, kind of early or high school students, to try to drive interest in. So I always like to start with that one, because I love to spend time with those. I'm sure they'll be highlighted on your app, but I learn something every time I'm there, and it's great to bring someone that's just either showing some interest in the industry or someone who's worked in the industry just to learn more. Beyond that, we're investing in trade schools. We use with our existing employees. I mean, we're helping upskill that workforce and translate them, and so we do in-house and third-party training there. And then I think your question was also kind of more broad in the industry. And again, we're involved in trade associations like this. We do lunch and learns kind of broadly. Our application engineer network that's out there that helps a lot of customers with specifications. They oftentimes spend time educating the broader industry support for Eaton and our channel and our distributors in the area.
So Trade Hounds has been partnered with NEMA on the Build America, Buy America, BUBBA, Made in America certification. Can you talk a little bit about Eaton's progress in that program?
We were one of the initial wave of certified locations, and I love the program because I think it does something for the industry that the industry needs even more today in this turbulent tariff or turbulent trade time. Yeah. And so we wanted to show commitment to the program, certified one of the initial locations, and I find that it's going to be a great way for not just government entities to understand who's been certified, because it's a standards-based program, which is NEMA's great at, and it's a certification program where we can actually bring them in, certify the site, certify the capabilities, and we'll continue to expand and invest there, because I think that one, it helps our customers in selection. As NEMA certifies more, it'll help us with our supply base to even go further. Just the transparency of the program and the standards-based, it just makes it really clear cut that if this criteria you're comfortable with, you'll be able to kind of quickly become a certified supplier or identify a certified supplier.
Yeah, one of the things we're doing with Eaton that I think is so important is connecting the certification process with the ability to be discovered in the field by the people who are actually making the buying decisions. So what we're doing now is bring that Made in America mark into search in the app. So when people are sourcing it in the app, they'll be able to actually know, okay, these products are compliant. If I'm on a compliant requiring job, this is a safe product to purchase.
And again, I think as the program continues to scale, I mean, links like that are just going to assist the customers in one, ensuring they comply with the requirements of their job, but also finding the certified suppliers that they're looking for to meet their needs. So it's just going to tell them things about our supply chain. It's going to tell them things about our capability, and also it's going to provide information about the risk management, in the supply chain of that supplier based on this certification. So I'm really pleased with NEMA's efforts, and really we're really glad to be one of the initial certified locations. So.
Well, Mike, it's great to spend time with you today and learn about all the great things you're bringing to the market.
Yep. Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, thank you.